Yo, welcome to another reading. So, today we've got a reading on your future. Rest assured, it is not cheesy, look into my crystal ball type future. We're just tapping into your energy. So, remember, if there's anything in these readings that don't resonate, you obviously have control over your own life. You can always say, I'm not vibing with that. Even if it feels kind of true to you, you can always go, yeah, maybe that's where I was going, and I choose to not take that route. We do have kind of free will here. You know, although like I have my doubts actually, the more that I kind of connect with God, I do have to kind of wonder sometimes how much free will I actually have. But that's a different conversation for a different day. This reading today is going to be about your future. So you may want to kind of tap in with yourself and kind of just sit on the energy of how far into the future are we talking here? Is it in the coming week? Is it the coming year? The coming 5 years? I feel like this is kind of like near future for the majority of people. Kind of tap into like topics, areas of your life that you kind of are interested to get that future update on. So yeah, as always, pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Feel free to pause the video, and we'll start with pile number 1s. Okay, pile number 1's your near future. So it's interesting because I'm getting kind of facial shapes with this. That might be just inspired by the pick a pile kind of. They were giving me eye vibes. So I'm not sure if that's flowing through, but I'm kind of just getting like these. Guess you have to be quite patient here today. Pile 1s with this reading. It's kind of minimalist, but kind of to the point, one of them ones. I'm not sure how much of that we got in camera. Now this is sorry. This is the feminine energy. It's like a feminine with an afro, but you know, like it's funny because it could be at a push the masculine, the masculine, the masculine energy, but it's like it's giving me this is so funny. It's giving me MJ vibes slash you know that whole era, like someone can put it in the comments of like I think they call it Jerry curl, so it kind of falls into the Eddie Murphy. I think it was Raw, that famous stand-up comedy session he did. You can Google it if you're confused. But there was a certain like era. I'm not going to try and guess when it was. It's probably like the 90s. No, maybe earlier than that. It's the 80s. But I said I'm probably butchering the time period. But there was a certain time period where like a lot of the black men were perming their hair essentially. So at a push, we've got that energy. But if I'm completely honest with you, this did say like all I can see now is like Michael Jackson with the curly bit of hair. That's all I can see now. But it wasn't originally that energy. That's all I can say to people. It's like I almost want to kind of extend the hair. It's almost, I tell you what, it's almost more Diana Ross energy. It's more Diana Ross, you know? Like, I know that, you know, my masculine's watching. It's gonna have completely ruined it for you in terms of your energy, but it's like, it's more that, do you know what I mean? It's more, it's a little bit more glam. So, you know, and like the hair could almost, do you know what I mean? Go outwards a bit more. Again, I might have lost some of you with that, but you know, like when the afro kind of comes out at the sides more, it's more that vibe. But look, I never say like force it where it fits, but in this case, kind of, you know, pick up what resonates and leave what doesn't. So yeah, it was giving me like Diana Ross vibes. I'm not sure if I even explained these lines to be honest, but like this is like the nose. The nose is flicking. I don't know. It's maybe just the style, whatever. But then lips, then the eye, hair, more hair. I don't know. Just for people who may have not seen that, feel free to kind of unpick it in your own way. But yeah, this is giving me like Diana Ross vibes. So maybe someone who's a singer. I don't know why I'm getting the vibe here as well. Like someone who maybe like used to be in some form of group and kind of going solo now. Like I'm not sure if that's the story of Diana Ross. Like I'm sure that there was. I've never seen all of those movies, but I'm sure she was part of a group and then she went her own way. So I'm getting that kind of vibe. And like, funnily enough, you know, like that's how beautiful and amazing like this channeling is, because when you think about that, that's the exact same story of Michael Jackson as well, like part of the Jackson 5 and then going his own way. So like I was having a good laugh about it at the start, but literally you can't make that up. That's the same polarity. It's the same narrative. Now I'm sure the stories are different, obviously, but like that just came to me straight away, and it's aligning. So all the masculines listening to this, you know, you might want to, like, if I'm veering off here, we're talking about Diana Ross, because that was the energy that was more stronger. Just flip it to the, like, the MJ story, and you might find it aligns with yours a bit more. So yeah, this is like I'm getting an energy here of like a moment as well. Like, so I'm getting like the spotlight. This character's like looking down, and this is the moment where like the spotlight shines on this person and they start to sing. So like, obviously you're not all going to be singers or performers out there, but this is some form of moment for you, like where like the spotlight comes on you and it's your moment. Now in terms of like vibe, I'm getting confidence. This is very Leo energy. This is someone who's like they've done this a million times before, so they're not nervous. This is not like an anxious energy at all. This is an energy of like confidence. This would be like someone saying to you, all I want you to do is speak this sentence in English, and your mother tongue is English. You know, it's like, it's almost like, that's too easy. You know, it's like your biggest challenge for £1,000,000 is to read the first page of this book. And it's like, you're kind of looking like this is too good to be true. And it's like the person saying to you, you can even make mistakes. You can even stumble your words and we're still going to clap. You know, you can still not know how to pronounce that one word in the book, and it's all right. As long as you just read this full page, you know, you're getting your million. Do you know what I mean? It's got that kind of energy, but, you know, like, it's not that, because saying that out loud, that's like a little bit ungrounded. It's more just like I'm getting the saying of this person's like, is it a duck to water? I'm not sure if that's the saying, but like, it's like a duck to water. You're very familiar in whatever this is, whatever you're doing, whatever your moment is. You've done it before. It's easy for you. So remember, that applies. I feel like this is kind of almost career or what's the word? Purpose based. So my pole number ones, I feel like this is around your purpose. So, you know, you may be some form of athlete. This is like might be or not even an athlete, but you might have like a hobby, let's say, of running, and there's this moment where you are asked to run X amount, and maybe to everyone else it's a long run, but you've already done like a marathon. You're doing like a marathon every month, so this like challenge is light work for you. There's some of you who are maybe designers, artists, and you know, this would be the equivalent of, this is me projecting a little bit here, but I remember like as an architect, I draw a lot. I remember getting a lot of work at one point for book illustrations, and the challenge sometimes was if the publisher was asking me to do something from scratch, that would sometimes be quite tedious to work. But 9 times out of 10, it was a beautiful income stream, because they were actually asking for work that I'd previously done. So I'd actually drawn. You know, it would be the equivalent of you seeing this drawing, pile number ones, and saying, "Oh, can I use that as my book cover? I really like it." And then I usually throw these drawings away, but you just happen to ask me at the right time, and I still have it. So I just give you that, and then you say, "Oh yeah, I'll give you X amount for it." It's that type of work. Do you understand? Like, it's almost that type of work. You've almost put in the hard work and you're getting the royalties of that. You know, you're getting the passive income of that. And then if it's not to do with necessarily money, it's to do with like, what's the word? The gratification or the recognition is probably the right word. You're getting the recognition from all of that past effort. You know, for some of you, this could even be to do with like, because when I'm saying it out loud, it reminds me of like exercise. So for some of you, it's like, it's the showcase. It's like it's the beach bod. It's like your summer bod is ready. But it's like through all the training and consistency you've done following up to that. I'm gonna just reel off some other kind of careers, because careers are coming to me for some reason. So like this might just be confirmation for you, but I feel like for some of you, like you're good with your hands. So for some of you, like some kind of craft. This might be like jewelry makers or like possibly some form of builder or crafts person. I'm also getting here like something to do with like greenery. You might be like florists, like for the more feminines out there. I guess that applies to everyone though, but like florists. And then I don't know, for some of you, you might even be like tree surgeons or something like that, because I was getting like the tree here a little bit as well. So some of my geezers out there, like you might be like a tree surgeon or like just like a gardener, but you know, like the gardeners who like trim up bushes and stuff like that, like a landscaper might be your path. So yeah, I think I pretty much nailed that part number ones. Your future is you're gonna get this kind of spotlight, but it's coming with like work done previously, and you know, like the work done previously is part of the reason why you're getting this reward. So like for like I just ended there with saying like the landscaper or the tree surgeon. For those scratching their head, like, oh, how could a tree surgeon have this limelight Leo opportunity? This would be the example of that tree surgeon cutting down the tree, and then someone in their car passes by who's like a very wealthy person and goes, oh, we've got a whole forestry here at the back that needs maintaining. Could we pay you privately to deal with this? And that income maybe changes that tree surgeon's life. You can make that apply to absolutely anything, pal ones. You could be like a makeup artist and someone likes the way you've done the makeup, and then it ends up in a popular magazine or something like that. Do you understand? It's work done. So I hope that's making sense to people. If you enjoyed the reading, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care. Okay, pile number twos. I was getting the word sci-fi. So some of you might be into sci-fi. Could be masculine or feminine, this one. Could be, yeah. I'll tell you why. Because I feel like it's, for me, this is in the jaw. So if I drew a jaw like this, squared it off, that could easily be like a handsome man. But then if I came in on the cheekbones and made a kind of a smaller face, it's, you know, just a feminine woman. So take away from that as you will. That's just how I was perceiving it. As it kind of stands now, I'd say it's on the feminine side. Call a spade a spade. But I was getting like quite a heavy like jaw, which would have definitely turned it into like a, you know, just a good looking man. It's funny because this is almost reminding me a little bit of the attractiveness reading, but it's talking about future. So this could be to do with like, yeah, I feel like generally like this is, so industries that will come in through, because it's funny, Power Ones, there was industries too. I'd say this is more to do with like style. This is to do with like the fashion piles, the models. If you're not models, like you're just, you care about how you look, aesthetic. Energies was giving me like almost Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Sagittarius was kind of coming through, a little bit of fire there. I was getting luxury. This is someone who likes maybe luxury, like likes nice things. If this isn't your pile number, pile twos, then just pick another. But you know, it is what it is. If you're not kind of into like nice things, this would be like, you care about how it looks though. Do you know what I mean? So like, the only way that I can make this relatable to people is generally in all my readings I have to talk about myself to make it relatable. So for example, before I started to make money, obviously wasn't, not obviously, but it's obviously for people who've heard this story before, I wasn't in a financial position to be able to afford nice things. So I was always smart with just making do with what I had, you know. This is giving me that type of energy. So you're the type of person who can go to like a pretty average store, but you know how to pick things out, you know? That's just for the people, you know, the maybe the smaller percentage there who can relate to that energy, but they're not quite there yet. So yeah, this is maybe to do with your future is maybe something to do with something luxury or high end. Now, I don't want to kind of scare people off because I can understand that maybe that market is quite small. But I want you to kind of think about this in depth because, you know, like high end, it looks really different to in different markets, right? So just in case I gave some of you a brain freeze, I nearly had one my damn self, to be honest, but I'm going to try and explain this in a way that you'll kind of get it. Um, in terms of mobile phones, Apple is actually quite a high end, well, it is a high end phone, isn't it? We can all admit they're not cheap. They're designed well, they're overpriced, but they're high end. But think about how common Apple phones are, iPhones are. They're kind of a luxury good when you really do think about it. Compare it to the cheapest model phone out there and compare that to an iPhone. You you probably have some form of luxury good in terms of technology, aware of it or not. Compare that in a worldwide basis. Your phone is a luxury good that you have. And then that kind of same example, that applies to loads and loads of other things. So let's say, for example, you may not be into fashion. You might have a t-shirt from H&M on. You might not care about that. If you're a man, probably even more so. But I could even pick up this pen, you know. This pen to me is a cheaper pen. But then compare it to got another pen in here. Not sure if that's the cheapest pen I've got. Compare it to this type of pen, and this pen's kind of more expensive. You know, just think about a typical like basic biro pen, like 5p. This is a luxury good. This pen, a Sakura pen, that's a luxury good in comparison to a cheap biro. Now, I've given you those examples because you're either going to pick up what I'm putting down or I've lost you. That's where you're going. It's whatever your market is, you've come to realize that you are going to be representing some form of like luxury good or luxury service within that market. And it may not seem like it, but kind of that's what you're doing, or at least that's what you've got like some form of interest in, you know. So let's just say, because I know a lot of you here are spiritual people. Let's say if you're like a Reiki healer, it's kind of like understanding the luxury market of that. Now, for some of you, this again, it might not apply. But some of you are thinking like, how can I really provide the best service, the highest quality in Reiki? Now, it doesn't have to look like the Gucci of Reiki, but I'm just saying in terms of service, in terms of quality, in terms of what you're charging, you know, you may be thinking, okay, how do I up that? I don't know why, but I was even getting, like in terms of career, I was getting like holidays or tourism. So you might be in like, well, for one, you might be in the hotel spaces, but I was even thinking like travel for some reason. So I don't know, maybe you're like a travel blogger or a travel influencer. Could be something like that. That was kind of coming through too. But it's like I just didn't want people to click on this reading and kind of think, okay, that's not necessarily me, because you like understanding my point is actually your activation. It's your awakening to it. It's damn, like I actually am doing that, but I didn't realize it. You know, it's the guy who works in Silicon Valley, but he kind of wears a rugged T-shirt and some old shorts. He's in the luxury tech industry, but he may not present himself that way in terms of how he dresses. And then you may be the absolute opposite of that. You may be there with your your Van Cleef and your Birkin, but then you couldn't give a crap about the pen that I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? Or your pens, you might have the cheap biro because you don't care about that. It happens, It's your thing, however that applies to you. So pole number two is, I hope that kind of hit the nail on the head. Remember, for my masculines listening to this, it's the exact same story. For some of you, you might like really, really care about how you present yourself in terms of your etiquette and your style. But then you couldn't care less about where you go out for a drink. Like dressed to the nines in a suit every day. Find some bloody rugged old rave at the weekends. Some dirty underground basement at the weekends. I don't know. But there's some form of like possible polarity going on there. Possibly. And then look, for some of you, you keep it. Some of you are just keeping it stylish in everything. Applies to everything. The food that you eat, your partner's got to be stylish too. Your home, like everything. Everything's got a place. Do you know what I mean? Some of you out there, like, it's everything. Everything's got that saying of like how that person does one thing is how they do everything. That might be you, pile number two, but I feel like for some others of you, it's like your future is that you're tapping into this kind of almost like a luxury market, but you may be sleeping on yourself. You may not realize kind of like that you're doing it. You maybe never saw yourself that way, but there's a particular market that you could be like utilizing through kind of fully jumping into that. So I hope that makes sense, pile number twos. If it did, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care. Okay, pile number three is what do you see? What do you feel? I'm actually going to leave that. And what do you see? What do you feel? So the the consistency of these readings is that they're all faces. I'm seeing someone looking up. So the under of the neck, the lips, and the nose. So they're looking up. I'd say definitely the feminine energy. If you're masculine watching this, or you associate with that masculine energy, I'd say maybe there's another pile for you, but don't exit it yet. Hear it out and see if there's something that applies to you. So yeah, this is just gonna kind of round off. I'm gonna leave it, but I'm gonna round it off because it's a little bit jagged. That was annoying me a little bit. This bit here almost reminds me of like a butterfly. So I don't know, like take that as you will as well, but it's kind of reminded me a little bit of like transformation energy. This would make like a lovely tattoo, but I don't think people would know what it is. But it's a beautiful tattoo as a illustration. So yeah, like this person is looking up. It's like it's not so. I don't even feel like this is prayer. This kind of reminds me a little bit more of is it Shawshank Redemption? But it's a little bit more so energy wise, it's a little bit more like stern than that, which is interesting because it's a feminine energy. But the energy is a little bit more stern. It's almost like it's reminding me of the energy of like I'm not gonna cry, you know. It feels like they've reached some form of like this energy feels like they've reached some kind of I don't know what the word is, completion. You've reached some form of completion, but like I don't know, like I don't know why you would not want people to see you cry, but it's like there's something where you're like this person feels to me like they're looking up and they're not letting you know they're not letting their mascara get fucked up. Do you know what I'm saying? It's got that kind of vibe. I don't know, it's like yeah, goddamn, I'm feeling it for you, Power Freeze. I don't know, it's definitely like a win though, do you know what I mean? But it's, I don't know, it's maybe like bittersweet. You know, I always try, I know it probably drives some of you mad when I do throw in my own stories, but the only thing I can think of which isn't really this energy is like when I qualified. Like my qualification of being an architect, that was a road and a half. And you know what? Like I thought part number three is that when I qualified, I was gonna have this moment of like screaming in the field, like a Shawshank Redemption moment. But you know what? By the time I complete, I was just like, fuck this, like whatever. Do you know what I mean? I think by the time I completed, I was just like, fuck these bitches, basically. Fuck these bitches and fuck your qualification. Like, I put so much passion and so much struggle, sweat and tears, blood, sweat and tears into doing it that when I finally got it, I was kind of a little bit numb to it. which is just my honest truth on the situation. But I think that was beautiful in a way because I did realize like my true love for architecture is in architecture. It isn't in calling myself an architect. So that was a beautiful thing. So the issue that we've got here is that that's the closest way that I can relate to this Palfreys, and that might be like nail on the head for you. You might be like fellow professionals, you might be doctors, you might be lawyers, you might be some form of like teacher, or probably forgetting some things, some professions, but you get the gist. You might have had some kind of long slog of a qualification. The big issue, or not the big issue here, but the big part that I can't necessarily relate with though, is that it's almost like this. So I felt kind of numb at that point. But this person, it almost feels like you're around people who, I don't know, it's like you can't celebrate with them. It's like maybe the same people who you're around are the same people who made life like shit for you. Like this might not be your reading path, Bruce, but there's just the energy I'm getting. It's like it's like receiving the Grammy award, but it's like the Grammys completely fucked you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't even want to. Yeah, but see, that's maybe not really getting it because this person, to me at least, they feel emotional. Like I'm even getting from this like a lip. It's like a quivering lip. They're looking to the sky. They're trying not to cry about it. But I feel like it's some form of win that you've got, But it's like the people are, yeah. It's like I don't know. I think Part 3. Obviously, you probably know what I'm talking about here. I may be struggling to get it out. It might be that, like, so for me, if I had qualified like a little bit earlier, I would maybe have related to this emotion. Thank God. Thank God I've finally just done this. I can get on now. Not have this elephant in the room. But for me, it surpassed that. It was like, I almost picked up the red lightsaber pole freeze. You know what I mean? By the time that I qualified, I was like, zoom, and my lightsaber, it weren't blue. Do you know what I mean? I had to take a deep breath a few years later, and throw the red lightsaber in the river. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? But by the time I got by the time I was like walking on stage with my black cape, and no one left. No one left afterwards. Like the red wedding. And part number 3, I feel like you've maybe still got your blue lightsaber here, but it's like, yeah, maybe like you're surrounded by the reds. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's more like, yeah, it does make me kind of sad, this reading. Like I said, it is a positive reading. Maybe like someone done you dirty as well. Do you know? It's got that kind of energy. This energy needs a hug, god damn it. Like, someone's done this energy dirty. All I can say is I'm rooting for you. Don't pick up the red lightsaber. Don't do it. Do not pick up whatever you do, Pathways. Do not pick up the red lightsaber. Put that shit down. Don't pick it up. Do not pick it up. It's not worth it. Don't pick it up. I feel like there could be, yeah, so there's something bittersweet here. Like, this could also even be, on a definitely a sad level and not so humorous at all. This could be someone who's maybe passed. So I can relate to this actually. I remember when I did finally pass, one of the people who was so, like, the closest person to me probably ever in my life was my grandma. And she always 100% believed in me. And I remember when like finally qualified, like my grandma was long gone, she'd passed on by then. And I remember, like, damn, like, if there was someone who I would have wanted to celebrate with, it would have been her. So this is like you receiving your award, but you don't have that person to celebrate it with. And I guess, so yeah, look, I can really relate to this when I think about it. Like, um, no, actually I can't. Because the person who I did have with me at that point was a solid person. But I guess there were a few other people around me who, just didn't have me a fraction, like not even a fraction of how my gran did, you know. But I feel like personally, this is a bit deeper than that. I feel like this is maybe so you can maybe relate to that, Palfreys. Or I feel like almost you're around people who betrayed you while getting this win. Like, I feel like that really is the point. So maybe be aware that if that seems like far-fetched to you, maybe this might be your reading to, like, not be paranoid, but be aware that you might have some snakes around you. So when you come into this win, just be prepared for that. Like, be prepared that these aren't the people who you're going to bring up with you, for my go-getters out there. Just seeing if there's, like, anything else. I'm just touching in with it. Yeah, it's like the the woman who's getting, or the girl who's getting married, who don't have a dad. It's kind of got that energy. It's bittersweet, you know what I mean? It's happy, but there's a pain. There's a pain there. I don't know. I feel like some of you can probably relate to that. It's like it's some kind of person who you would have wanted to be there and they're not there. But generally, like, just to end this on a positive spin, pile number three is this is an absolute, like, win of a reading. This is someone who's empowered, male or female. Like I said, it's definitely a female profile we've got here, but it doesn't matter what gender you are. This is someone who's empowered. This is someone who is like, that's why I said, like, don't go to the dark side, because this is Anakin energy. Do you know what I mean? This is someone who's got power. So, like, stay on the light. Stay on the light side. This is someone who, although they're, try not to cry, this person needs to be, we need you on our side. Do you know what I mean? We need you on the people who are fighting for love and positivity, and making the world a better place. because this is someone who's, like I said, empowered and kind of, maybe the wrong word is, maybe the word isn't strong, but I feel like almost like strong-willed, like strong character. There's some people in this world that don't have much to them, and I feel like this energy, they've got something to them. So that's what I kind of mean by strong. I'm not talking about like huge biceps type strong, although you might have, who knows. But this is someone who's, you know, that the world needs, you know. So that should underpin your reading, pole number 3s, amongst, this emotional, possibly even sad process that you're going through. There's a reminder of who you are. This is kind of a character who, there's a reason to miss this person, If this person wasn't here anymore, this person would be missed. And it's not necessarily like millions at your funeral. You could be. But it's like, the world needed more of those type of people. That's you, pile 3s. So on that note, I'm going to leave you to it. If you enjoyed the reading, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. And I'll see you in the next reading. Take care.